I can record. Recording's picking it up. I can try this again, but if nothing else, we can just do this, and then I'll have to upload it tomorrow.
So is that the old system?
This is the old system.
Trying the new system.
I'm doing it right now. Just with me moving back and forth. So we can record it and then I can upload it tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'll try to do a new slideshow of
We're still sitting in the same place we were before, but we can record on our own system, and then we'll upload it to YouTube in the morning, so we just won't be live. That's going to be our best bet at this point. Supposedly, nobody's been on the system. We were on it Friday. Nobody's been here. So
you're spending us with this?
No, we keep this door locked. So don't have an answer. So we're going to record the meeting. It won't be live, and then tomorrow morning we'll convert it. We will update. We will upload it into our YouTube for everybody to give you tomorrow. That's what it is. And
Tell us when we're ready, Ashley.
we'll get our IT in here and see what's going on.
Okay, do we need to start, what we already did, we really don't have to have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so go ahead and please do a roll call.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Birdsell?
Here.
Commissioner Griggs?
Here.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Here.
Commissioner Ayers?
Here, ma'am.
Mayor Henderson?
Here, I apologize to everybody, technical difficulties. Sometimes technology is not our friend. So, okay, we do have one presentation tonight. Deputy McKenzie, I know you were anxious to do your part, so come on up. Or come on down.
I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to do this not live. It's good to see each and every one of you. Happy New Year to you. It's the first meeting of the new year. So I hope that it's as prosperous and great as last year was. Go over our December stats. We had 1,059 calls for service. We patrolled 24,977 miles. 29 arrests. We took a little easy on everybody during the month of December on arrests. Traffic stops 222. We wrote 168 citations, and we had 41 traffic accidents reported. We had 10 parking lot accidents. Those were for various reasons, and 26 non-parking lot crashes. The majority of those, 5 of them were at Tyndall Parkway and East 7th Street, and 3 of them occurred at Tyndall Parkway and Highway 22. Anybody have any questions?
Just 3 out of the,
Yes, sir, and I'll give you the sheet that they printed off from us, so you can take it to your meeting.
yeah,
Any other questions?
because we would, I will use those statistics.
No, I know you will.
No, just thank you.
Yeah,
This may be the last time you give us the report, is that correct?
It is.
Okay.
In the words of Johnny Paycheck.
Take this job.
Well, I was going to say, better not try to stop me from walking out the door.
Thank you. Okay. City manager has a presentation.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't familiar with business rate, but business rate actually works from Google. It's Google statistics, and over the last year, the Callaway Arts and Conference Center was ranked #1 in Bay County, and this conference center was actually ranked over the conference centers on the beach. It beat the Lindale Center, just a huge award that we do have a plaque. And I wanted to present this to Tim and his crew because, where's Tim? Okay, well, here's the plaque, I'm gonna give it to Tim. It just says it, oh, that's right here. Here, Tim. Your staff has done a great job with the conference center, and as you know, you were already ranked #1, so that falls on you and your staff. But
They put in a lot of good work.
yeah. And I will continue to say we are booked up, both here and our other one. There's just not, we just don't have empty slots. This conference center is used tremendous over here. And I think it's pretty cool that we be at the beach.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we have a special guest in our audience tonight. The new president of the Bay County Chamber, Mr. Al Cambry, is here to pay us a visit. I think this is the first time we have had a chamber president here, so this is quite an honor for us. So thank you and congratulations on the new job. I know you're going to do great things for Bay County.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Al. And I know at the special meeting, we had introduced our new finance director, but we have Mr. Josh Kosich, who is all the way here from Washington State. As I say, I tried to go as far away from here as I could to bring in somebody. And unfortunately, the two applicants, the one from Alaska and Hawaii, they just didn't make the cut. So we got the cream of the crop right here. And so y'all, if y'all would, please welcome Josh to our team. All right, let's get to business.
Okay, we'll go on now to additions or deletions to the agenda. City Manager, I think you have something.
So we're going to try this. As y'all know, we keep getting awarded lab grants. And we were just recently awarded a construction side grant for the West Cherry Street sidewalks. This goes from Tyndall Parkway to Bob Little. That contract is in place for construction and ready to go. The state, because over the holidays they were short-staffed, they didn't get us approval for the CEI. This is all budgeted within the grant. It's a 100% reimbursement. But after today, we had not got the final approval from the state. We're probably going to get it in the morning. The problem is we do not want to wait until 2 weeks to have another meeting because the contractor's ready to start. The CEI is ready to get to work on it. So we're going to have a resolution at the next meeting that's going to award the CEI to DRMP, who was chosen by the city's selection committee for the West Cherry Street sidewalk. We had issues. It basically had to do with one of their line items in their bid was 20%. It should have been 15%. The problem is the line item was only $2,000. So it's a minimal amount of money. We're underneath our grant award money for the grant. So rather than come back and if we don't want to do what basically approve the mayor to sign the contract so that we can go ahead and get this on the books and get it going as of tomorrow once we get approval from the state. I will need to hold a special meeting at the end of the week, but city attorney says that since it's under our budgeted amount, it's already in our budget, everything's fine, we could go ahead and authorize her to sign the contract, and then we'll just bring it back and we'll back ratify it at our next regular meeting. So I'll leave that up to y'all.
Do we need a motion?
You would need a motion to add the item to the agenda for discussion.
Yeah, we have to do it as an agenda item, so
Okay.
I need,
I'll make a motion, we add it to the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor of adding the item, say aye. Aye. And that would just become item number 10.
just so y'all know, we took 3 items off the agenda. Oh, we took 4 off the agenda, sorry.
Okay, so, and that's it, no other additions or deletions, okay? We'll go ahead just real quick, since we've got some new faces in the audience. Public participation rules, you can speak on each agenda item. You know, each one, you get 3 minutes. What you need to do when I call for public participation, just raise your hand if you want to speak. Once you're recognized, come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record if you so choose, and then your 3 minutes will start. They said you have 3 minutes on each item if you want to speak. Then at the end of the meeting, if there's something that's non-agenda that you want to bring up, same process. When I call for participation, just raise your hand, come up, state your name and address, and then you have 3 minutes to talk about whatever your non-agenda item is. So with that, we will go on to approval of the minutes. We've got the minutes of the December 9th, 2025 regular meeting. Did anybody have any comments, changes to those minutes?
No.
If not, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the December 9th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The financial statements are there, and I'm sure, just as Mr. Schultz was always happy to go over anything with you if you wanted to, I'm sure Mr. Gossage would do the same, so if you...
At a meeting time, I consider what's going on right now.
Right, yes, I mean, you
Put him on the spot.
but no, you go by his office and go over whatever with him.
After the meeting tonight, okay?
No, that's between you and him.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, he's unavailable.
Yeah, he's gonna drive back to Washington, so he's got a long drive after the meeting. Okay, we will go on to, first item. This is ordinance number 1133, and we do need to open a public hearing for this. That's ordinance number 1133, rezoning of 406 Bob Little Road. City Attorney.
Yes, ma'am. This is ordinance number 1133, an ordinance rezoning from R-6M, residential single family, to R-5, residential single family. A certain parcel of land lying within the city of Callaway, Florida, consisting of approximately 6.172 more or less acres. Said parcel is located at 406 Bob Little Road, Callaway, Florida, parcel ID number 24414-000-000. All as more particularly described in the body of the ordinance, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing that the ordinance shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Okay, this is the final reading. City Manager, did you want to?
Mr. Fry, have you had any comments on this?
No, sir.
No.
I just want to point out, Mr. Steele is here tonight, the developer.
And we are taking this, we're removing the M designation.
Yes.
So,
Did you want to say anything, sir? Okay, did anybody have any question or comment for Mr. Steele or for Mr. Fry? Nobody?
No.
Did anybody in the audience want to comment on this item? Not seeing anybody, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 1133, rezoning of 406 Bob Little Road.
second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, City Clerk?
Commissioner Birdsell?
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Yes.
Commissioner Ayers?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Henderson?
Yes. Okay, we will close the public hearing, and we will go on to the regular agenda. Item number 2, ordinance 1132, City of Callaway 2045 Comprehensive Plan Update, first reading.
Yes, ma'am. This is ordinance number 1132, an ordinance amending the comprehensive plan of the city of Callaway, specifically to adopt city-initiated amendments pursuant to section 163.3184 Florida statutes, update the goals, objectives, and policies of the future land use, transportation, housing, infrastructure, coastal management, conservation, recreation, and open space, intergovernmental coordination, economic and capital improvements, elements of the comprehensive plan, and to update the future land use map series, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Okay, and we did have extensively, we did come up with some changes. We are going to have another workshop on next Thursday, the 20th, at 1 o'clock. So, we will go over those changes and kind of do another, probably a quick review of that.
We're having it on Tuesday?
Yes, it's Tuesday, okay. Tuesday, I'm sorry. Tuesday the 20th, yes, at 1 p.m. So, I don't know if we're going to get into a lot of discussion, but how do we need to handle this? We need to...
And just open the transmittal hearing and take public comment or comment from the commissioners, and then close the hearing, and then you've already mentioned that you're going to take additional comments and come back with changes, revisions later.
So, continuous.
Continue, yeah.
So we've done that. Do we have comments from the commission?
No.
What time, Tuesday?
1
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock on the 20th. Okay, so we have no comments from the commission. Do we have any comments from the audience? I know at least one of you was here for the workshop. You may be the only one that was here for the workshop that's here again tonight.
Mr. Bowers here.
Oh, Mr. Bowers. You hide over there. Listen. And you were here. Did anybody have any comment? Like I said, we will have a workshop on Tuesday at 1, and then this will be continued on
The next meeting.
our January 27th meeting. So, does that,
And that'll be our first reading that day.
did you want to say something, Ms. Langston?
I have a question. Teresa Langston, 6031 Wayne Street. The copy that's in the agenda, is that with the changes?
No.
No, so that we got this before.
Okay, so he had already submitted the changes for you guys to review, because I thought it was supposed to be done.
It'll be done this week. His changes will be submitted to us this week, and then we will post all that up and get it to the commissioners, a fresh copy.
Yeah, we don't have the changes yet. Okay, any other comment? So I guess now we can just...
Just a move to continue it to the next meeting.
Do we need a motion and a vote? Okay, would somebody like to make, okay, Commissioner Ayers?
To move that we continue till next meeting.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. So do we do that as a roll call or just a regular vote?
Just regular.
Okay. So if there's no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries, and we will pick that up at our next meeting after our workshop. Okay, we will go on to item number 3, ordinance number 1137, rezoning a property located at 7100 Cherry Street. City Attorney?
Yes, ma'am, this is ordinance number 1137, an ordinance rezoning from multifamily medium density to R5 residential single family, a certain parcel of land lying within the city of Callaway, Florida, consisting of approximately 2.97 more or less acres. Said parcel is located at 7100 Cherry Street, Callaway, Florida. Parcel ID number 06810-000-000. All is more particularly described in the body of the ordinance, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing that this ordinance shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
City Manager?
Mr. Frye?
Good evening. So this is another really good transition for this property. It's going to be a reduction of a non-conforming mobile home park by about 75%. The plan is to do houses instead of mobile homes that are currently there now. This does drop the end. Therefore, whenever they start putting permits, they will not be allowed to put mobile homes in there anymore. So another one of those kind of no-brainers. for the rezoning to get this in line for the project.
If we're rezoning these properties, but we have 5 units that are not gonna be part of the development of going to R5, are they non-conforming as they sit now?
Yes, sir. They will retain their non-conforming status.
Okay, now if as a matter of fact, one of them, I think the third one in, at one time had a fire. And for whatever reason, that actually came back, even though it was totally fired, totally destroyed. Now, being non-conforming, if the same thing happens again, do they go back with a mobile home, or do they,
An individual mobile home, yes, sir. They have to lose 50% of the entire park for a sustained period of time, and then they lose their non-conforming status. We had a few do that during Hurricane Michael.
yeah,
But if just one mobile home out of 5,
Then we'll be allowed to replace it.
okay.
We do encourage them to replace them with nice new ones.
Yeah, yes.
if 3 of them go, then all,
They have to remain, absent for a period of time that's 6 months.
I think what he's saying, 3 of them burn down at the same time. It's more than 50%.
As long as they're replaced within the 6-month period. Yeah. This is a reduction of 75%.
right. So that's Cherry Street in Eleanor,
The corridor that will remain will be Cherry and Beulah.
Cherry and Beulah.
Yeah, and the northwest corner.
They're on 5.
I believe there's 5 there that plan on keeping.
Okay.
Anybody else have any question or comment for Mr. Fry? Okay, thank you. Does anybody in the audience want to comment on this rezoning? Not seeing anybody, gentlemen, it's back to us. If somebody would like to make a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance number 1137, rezoning the property located at 7100 Cherry Street.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. If there's no other discussion, city clerk?
Commissioner Briggs?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Yes.
Commissioner Ayers?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Birdsell?
Yes.
Mayor Henderson?
Yes. Okay, we will go on to item number 4, Resolution 26-01, additional lap funds, design of Bertha Avenue sidewalks.
Yes, ma'am. This is resolution number 26-01, a resolution of the City of Callaway, Florida, approving a supplement to the local agency program agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation for road improvements, authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement and providing an effective date.
City manager.
I'm not going to get too deep in the woods. This actually goes back when Bridge Harbor was being developed, was whenever we submitted for these lap pumps. They was actually going to cover sidewalks all the way down Boat Race from where you go into Bridge Harbor, all the way down to Bertha, and then all the way down to Wallace. Bridge Harbor went ahead and they developed sidewalks, as y'all have seen, through the front and halfway down Bertha. That left the end of Bertha from, I think, Eagle Way down to, it's going to go all the way to Forsyth for connectivity. The issue that really ran into is the fact that they did a proportional cut of the money. The problem is the majority of the engineering is going to come on that south end because we're actually dealing in wetlands. I know it's hard to believe, but that ditch, because of the tidal inflow and outflow, they want to do wetland evaluations on that, the state does. So when we did our request for the design of the engineering firm, that was chosen by the RFQ committee, and they chose, who was it? Is that Gort Muller? Is that Gort Muller? So they came through, made their submission, which was significantly more than what was allotted by the grant. We did have this verified through a third party that the numbers were good, and we requested justification letters. We also had one of our engineers look at it that helps us out with some of our LAP funds, and they agreed that it was more than acceptable. We sent that back to the state, requested more money to cover it. The state was more than, they understood, and they agreed to provide us with more LAP funding to cover this engineering part of it. And so the state has agreed to increase it, but we have to increase, I have to get permission to y'all to accept the increase in funds that are coming in. We will probably have to bring back a resolution at a later date to cover the change in the budget, but like I said, this is 100% pass-through for us. These are LAP projects, we love them, but we do need the connectivity down Bertha.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Cook?
So there's no actual financial impact to the city. We're accepting more free money.
That's correct, but I always say this, and I always say this with grants. We pay on the front end, they pay us on the back end. So every grant that comes to the city, we pay for, then we submit our checks and they pay us back. But yes, this is a complete pass-through.
On the LAP funding.
On the LAP funding, yes.
Right.
No match, no nothing, this is straight funding.
Any other questions, comments?
I'll also say that when we put this in as a submission through the state, they literally approved it in less than 2 hours. And when I got a phone call from Maria, she said, y'all do your LAP project so well that they had no problems with it at all. They approved it almost immediately. He said, yeah, we're good, go ahead, move forward. And our city clerk handles all that. So kudos to Ashley for continuing doing such a good job with our LAP projects.
Love that LAP.
By the way, that smile is not a happy smile. That smile, that's one of those grins that,
Never want to pay a relationship with.
LAP, yes.
Yeah,
That is the most difficult grant we have ever dealt with.
we've not had a city clerk yet that enjoys
No,
that.
not yet, not
I
yet.
remember Dan never liked them.
When I very first got here, I went through the certification, and I personally got LAP certified, and I quickly
Made sure.
pushed that off. So there's no way I can do all this work.
Well, along the line, we had a discussion actually at the workshop concerning our acronyms. So I don't know if everybody understands what LAP is, but LAP is Local Area Projects.
Local agency. Local agency. program.
Local agency.
Program. Local agency program.
Same thing.
You're going to get your acronyms. You're going to spit it out there. We're going to get it right. Local agency
All right,
program.
Paul, you sit over there and agree.
Okay, you were 1/3 right.
Yeah. Well,
If nobody else up here has anything, did anybody in the audience want to comment on these additional LAP funds? Not seeing anybody?
I also want to quickly point out that LAP is currently shifting a lot of their programs. So what they're doing is they're doing it phases in years. So while, even though we're going to do the engineering for the project this year, it's probably not going to be funded for another 2 years. So you won't see the construction for several years. Such as, we got awarded 2 years ago for Lake, and we're just now getting ready to put out for the engineering. And this one was before Lake. So we still got this one, then Lake, South Gay. So we're 3 projects in the queue, but they do engineering 1 year, and then they do award construction the next. So you just know it's not going to, you're not going to see it this year.
And we just submitted for Bueller, didn't we?
We sure did.
Just submitted for Bueller, so hopefully that'll go well, and then 2 years after, we'll have Bueller.
I'm just praying. I can't believe so far since I've got here, we've received a LAP project every year. There's only 2 awarded in the district so far. This year we got 2 of them. After that, they say don't pick one, you can't have them all.
well, some of the other cities started realizing that they were losing out on some money.
Then we had to fight for one this year.
Yeah, but it's also helpful. We've been getting help from the
That's right.
citizens.
Sure did.
That's right.
So,
So did anybody in the audience, I think I may have already asked, but just in case, did anybody in the audience want to talk about the additional LAP funds No. Okay, so would somebody like to make a motion on this item?
Motion to approve resolution 2601, additional MAP funds, design of Bertha Avenue sidewalks.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, city clerk?
Commissioner Pelletier?
Yes.
Commissioner Ayers?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Barthel?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
Mayor Henderson?
Yes. Okay, we'll go on to item number 5, resolution 26-02, Federal Awards Policy Manual Edition. City Attorney.
Yes, ma'am, this is resolution number 26-02, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Callaway, Florida, adopting a federal awards policy manual, providing for compliance with federal, state, and local requirements, providing for implementation and administration, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, city manager.
I'm going to read verbatim. State Department of Commerce, the city, and our grant administrator did a review of the policies pertaining to federal award projects. The review provided guidance for updating our manual to include a section pertaining to federal grants only. The policy manual for federal awards is intended to ensure compliance with all applicable federal, state, and local laws, regulations, grant agreements, and guidance, including not limited to HUD regulations. This came down through the state. The state is actually going through and they're doing a review of policies it's going to be all cities when they're done. They are taking their time. We do have a lot of federal grants. So even though we were awarded the grants, there were some issues that came through the state. The state said, we want to do some internal reviews. It wasn't an audit or anything like that. It was just a review of policies so that we could make sure our policies matched up completely with what they were looking for. We have not yet got the recommendations. I think there were 4 recommendations that we add. But the issue came down to was when we actually looked at the policy manual and everything that they wanted, to try to take each section and incorporate them in with our current manual was going to take a tremendous amount of work. So we just said, well, rather than do that, can we just put a section in our manual that just deals with the federal grants only? That way it doesn't get convoluted in with having to send them a 3-page binder, a 3-inch binder of every policy that we had pertaining to procurement and grants and federal regulations. So this manual was produced. We sent it to the state. The state did a complete review. We're not the only one that has this manual, by the way. This manual actually came out of the state. We had them do a complete review. They reviewed it. They said that they thought that would be great. It mattered. We told them we were going to go ahead and review it. We reviewed it internally. Attorney has reviewed it also. It just talks about making sure that we have all the verbiage in there that says we're compliant. That we have it written somewhere. I mean, this is all the way down to agreements with the sheriff's office. So we felt it better to go ahead and just bring it back this way. Just put a policy manual in the back of ours as a subsection. That way, whenever they come forward and they go, hey, are you grant compliant? We just take the sections and we turn it in. So it's a little bit of house cleaning, but it sets us up really good for future grants that we apply for that have to do with federal money. I talked in circles.
Well, the circle is complete, so.
Okay.
Anybody have questions, comments? Everybody up here good? Okay, anybody in the audience want to talk or comment on this?
Just so everyone knows, this was the internal review was done by myself and Ashley and Mr. Schultz. We were in a review for 5 days straight for 3 hours or better a day as we went through every policy and procedure. The state was actually very impressed. They said they did not have very many recommendations, but by doing this, it's a cleanup issue for us.
Okay, well, nobody wants to comment, so we are ready for a motion.
Motion to approve resolution 26-02, Federal Awards Policy Manual Edition.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. If there's no other discussion, city clerk?
Commissioner Ayers,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Brosel,
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs,
Yes.
Commissioner Pelletier,
Yes.
Mayor Henderson.
Yes. Okay, item number 6. Planning Board Vice Chair ratification. This is one that you don't have to do anything. City Manager, the City Clerk, are you gonna cover this one?
Yes, ma'am. So effective January 6th, Mr. Hagan, the former chairman of the planning board, did resign his position, and James Duval, the then vice chairman, automatically assumed the position of chairman. Following that, Ms. Spring Overway was nominated by the board and accepted the position of vice chairman. So we are just asking if you will ratify the board's decision with Mrs. Overway.
And she,
And she is here, yes.
Want to plead your case?
does anybody here have any comment or question about anything? Anyone? Nope. Does anybody in the audience want to comment on the vice chair ratification, including Ms. Overway? Well, if nobody wants to comment, would somebody like to make a motion?
Motion to approve Planning Board Vice Chair ratification, Ms. Overway.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. There's no discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
You have 3 minutes.
And we will go on to item number 7. Award of RFQ number PW 2025-05, design of Bertha Avenue sidewalks, city manager or city clerk. Okay.
So the city was awarded that funds as we discussed earlier. This is concerning the increase in that funding. For the design of the Bertha Avenue sidewalks, staff published request for qualifications. 6 bids were received. Fort Muller Engineering received the highest ranking from the evaluation committee, and following negotiation, FDOT, of course, approved award of the contract to Golden Muller for the negotiated not-to-exceed price of $107,642.09. And so, and this is in line with the LAP funding that we just received to raise this up. So we'd like to award the design.
One thing I would like to say, I know we talk about the evaluation committee and the city's evaluation committee. Those are committees, although it's not city staff that does it, it's actually made up of citizens that volunteer to be on evaluation committees. Now, there may be one staff person that's included in that, but it's not city staff that's making these recommendations. It is a committee that includes citizens from Callaway.
Pretty sure we're the only city that does it this way.
Probably.
I'm serious. I know Panama City and Lynn Evans all internal.
So did anybody have any question or comment about this one? Nobody? Okay, would anybody in the audience like to comment on the bid award? I'm not seeing anybody. Would somebody like to make a motion? We're a quiet crowd tonight.
Motion to approve award of request for qualifications number Papa Whiskey 2025-05, design of Bertha Avenue sidewalks.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. There's no discussion.
Is this to approve the Goldmeyer Engineering?
Yeah.
Should be part of the motion.
Yes. Yeah.
And approve Golden Muller Engineering.
Okay, we got it. You amend your second to include?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we will go on to item number 8. Tyndall Air Force Base Fire Department Mutual Aid Agreement. City Manager.
Y'all know we did mutual aid agreements with other fire departments. This is the one for Tyndall Air Force Base. Chief, you have anything you want to add?
Great relationship, we play well with it.
Good answer.
Anybody up here have any comments?
No.
No. Anyone in the audience have any comment on this one? No. Okay. Just need a motion.
Motion to approve the Tyndall Air Force Base Fire Department mutual aid agreement.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we will go on to our next to last item, advisory board appointments. City clerk, you want to cover this one?
Yes, ma'am. As you were aware, at the last meeting, I did let y'all know that we were going to come back because the planning board currently has one vacancy in half-cent sales tax oversight committee, has 3 vacancies. And we do have Ms. Tracy Lee, Mr. Paul Bohack, and Mr. Anthony Bostic, who have all 3 applied for each position. So this is for the planning board vacancies for the balance of an unexpired term ending December 31st of this year. And then the half-cent committee vacancies there are 2 3-year terms ending in December 31st of 2028. And then the balance of an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2026.
So we need one for planning board, and really all 3 can be on the half cent, since we've got 3 openings.
Split it into 2.
So, I mean, I know we have 3 good candidates for planning board, but in looking at Mr. Bohack's qualifications, not to take away from the other 2, but he's very qualified. I mean, he has a PhD. That's hard to compete with. So, but I don't know what anybody's thoughts are on. And, well, we can go ahead and discuss, and then I'll see if any of the applicants want to speak, or if anybody else wants to speak on their behalf. But does anybody up here have anything to say?
Well, concerning the planning board, we've talked about this before, but the planning board is first in line to recommend to the commission, in line with the goals of Callaway. And that has to be the key. It can't be personal goals, it has to be the goals of Callaway. And sometimes in the past, we've had those that were not looking at it that way, they're looking at their own personal goals. And some of those situations have involved us overruling what the planning board has actually recommended. So whoever goes on the planning board, and Paul, talking about you, and you fully understand the goals that and of course they're listed. So just want to point that out. Got to keep focused, and you're good at focusing.
Anybody else want to make any comment before I open it up for the audience?
I can see the way they've ranked what they would like to do, Mr. Bohack. It says he would do the planning board, but it's the lowest of his priorities out of those, if he had to choose.
I do want to comment on that. He had mentioned to me that he had put the audit committee on there. He is on the audit committee, and that's why he put that one on the top. So it would be his, I don't know if either one of the other 2 were a priority, 1 or 2, but that's why that one is on the top, because he is on that committee.
Yeah, I think it's important that whoever we appoint to the planning board, that they attend the meetings, and I personally know Mr. Bohat will definitely he attends all these meetings. So,
Well, on the half-cent surtax, it's really important because I know we've had issues, people just not showing up, people on the committee that just don't show up, so,
but he can serve on two.
yes, he can. He can be on both of those.
So I would definitely lean towards Dr. Bohat for the
Well, you want,
planning board.
we'll let them, and then we can make a motion.
I did make a motion, just
Okay,
leaning that way,
yeah.
all three of them to the half-cent surtax.
So, but I know we have some of our candidates in the audience, if they would like to say anything on their own behalf, or if anybody else would like to say anything about any of the candidates, so, anybody wants to say anything? Ms. Langston?
Lisa Langston, 6031 Main Street. I want to make a comment in response to your comments. Somebody with a PhD is not any better than somebody else, and the way that you make it sound that, somebody that don't have an education, I have a bachelor's degree, it don't make me any better than anybody else sitting in the audience. Resumes don't show character, education don't show integrity. And how many times has Commissioner Briggs said it should be open to everyone? But here again, we already have people that are already on committees, and you would rather stack somebody that is already on committees instead of taking someone new into it. So we just keep recycling the same people that are on committees on different committees.
Anybody else want to say anything?
So did you have a nomination?
Do I have one?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, as far as the planning board, I think, Tracy could be a good person. I know that she's on the committee, but if a citizen is stepping up, getting involved.
Judy did not engage her from the audience.
Well, she moved off, but she,
That's okay. Okay, did anybody else want to say anything? Okay, it's back to us.
Now, all three on
the half cent.
on the half cent.
Yep, all 3.5 cents. And then,
Y'all might want to do separate motions for each.
right,
Committee,
one
basically.
planning board and one
Yeah.
for half cent. So, but do you want to do that in the form of a motion on the half cent?
Right.
Do it.
Yeah, to make a motion on the half cent.
Make a motion that, it's Lee, Mr. Bohack, and Mr. Bostwick.
Bostic.
Tony Bostic, yes. All three on the half cent.
second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so all three individuals are on the half cent surtax, and you'll have to work out, I know there's 2 3-year terms and one 1-year term, I guess, so I'll let y'all hash that out if that, maybe we'll need a motion on that too. Is that something that can be done in-house? Who takes the shorter term and who takes the,
We do a lottery draw.
okay,
2.5.
there you go. So,
Do we want to do that now so that it's...
I would say yes, please. Yeah, because we do have 2
Yeah, if you have an extra paper.
I brought that Mr. Boston is here, so he'll just take whatever's left.
Got that right here. So you got 2,
We got a 3-year, a 3-year, and a 1-year. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Yeah,
So we'll draw for the 1 year. How about that?
okay, so you're putting the names.
I'm just gonna put the last
We
name.
need to have somebody else. I don't want to draw, I mean, we need to have somebody impartial or the attorney.
Suggestion, you know, we
Yeah,
got.
that's right. He's somebody, he's impartial. And we do, we don't like to do, my name's Eddie Cook. He's one of the names. So we're drawing for which one first? The 1 year?
Yeah, we're
Okay, let's
still
go
drawing
for the
for
1 year.
Pick one. Read the name. Boston.
Okay, so Mr. Bostic serves the 1 year term, which means the other two parties will be serving the 3 year term.
Is everybody okay the way that went down? I don't want it to come back. Going
Okay, so now that gets us back to planning board.
Yeah, that's you.
Does anybody
Let you draw.
want to say anything about make a motion on planning board?
I'd like to nominate Paul Bohat.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second from Mr. Bohat. Anybody have any other comments before we vote?
So everybody can see that I wrote 3 different names on there. Man, is this a camera? 3 different names.
Okay, well,
So they say they were plastic 3 times.
Is this just a vote on one person, or is this like when y'all selected me and we actually just vote on it and?
yeah, I mean, no, there is a motion that Mr. Bohat be the one on the planning board. So it's just, so, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay. Nay.
Okay, so it's 3-2. Then you vote yes?
Vote yes.
Okay. Okay.
And Madam Mayor, you may want to just go ahead on the first one and just do a motion to clarify that Mr. Bostic will be served the 1 year term.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion that Mr. Bostic serve the 1 year term?
Whoever it was.
Bohat.
No, the 1 year term on the audit committee, the half-cent sales.
We put all 3 of them on there.
Yes, so
And we
we,
drew for who was going to be 1 year.
so we want to make a motion that Mr. Bostic will serve the 1 year term on the
That
half-cent
was, we're
sales.
going backwards.
Sorry, I just misinterpreted. I thought they said Bohat, so that's right.
No, that's planning board, that one's done. This is on half-cent. Since you made the motion, do you want to just make the motion that Tony Bostic be the one that served the 1 year term on the half-cent?
Concerning the half-cent surtax committee, Tony Boswick will serve the 1 year term.
Second.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second. Was there any comment from the audience on that? So, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that gets our board appointments. Now we will go to item number 10, which is the add-on item.
Yeah. So basically, as I explained, we're going to need a resolution that will award the CEI to DRMP for the West Cherry Street sidewalks. This will be below our budgeted amount. It's going to be a slight increase over their current bid, which I don't know what their current bid is right offhand, Ashley. It's 40-something thousand, I think.
I want to say 49.
Yeah, it's about 49,000. It was under our amount for the CEI for the project. As I stated earlier, we want to get started and doing another 2-week delay. If not, we'll be more than happy to come back to y'all, and we'll call a special meeting most likely for Friday morning so we can get it done. But city attorney has advised that he will allow the mayor to sign as long as it's under the bid amount or under our estimated amount. So we can go ahead and get this started, and then we'll ratify it next.
If the commission chooses to allow, you could allow the mayor to delegate your authority to the mayor to sign the agreement contingent upon state approval tomorrow, which is anticipated.
Yeah, what he said.
So do you want to make a motion to that?
Well, before we make a motion, does anybody have any comment? And then I'll open it up to the audience before we make a motion.
And the comment I have is that it would be nice to know what that dollar amount is versus an estimate.
I can send that out.
You know, if we're making a motion, we're giving the mayor approval for what? We don't know. See what I'm saying?
Actually, can you look it up real quick?
Between 40 and 50, you know, between 40 and 45.
She's gonna try to look it up.
And we're giving approval based on the contingency, that the state's gonna sign it tomorrow if they wait till next week.
Right,
What is
I'm
that?
saying until the state approves.
It would, if the commission chooses, you can cap it at whatever the grant amount is and contingent upon state approval of the modification that the contractors has suggested, the city suggested.
Just so everybody know, I was prepared to come in and ask y'all to have a special meeting on Friday. But the city attorney has said this might be easier, it keeps us from having to call a special meeting, but like I said, we'll have one. And if you'd like, tomorrow morning I'll send an email out, but Ashley's gonna pull the numbers right now.
I just don't have any problems with the city manager, it's just that you should be able to give us numbers.
So would it be cleaner to go ahead and have a special meeting?
Up to y'all. I was prepared to go clean, I wasn't prepared to ask y'all to ratify later. I'm working Friday anyway.
So there's currently $49,068.10. And I want to say our lab award amount for that is $56.50. It is less than the awarded amount.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Did anybody?
Wasn't that total for that line item like 3,000?
49. That's what you mean.
That's the total.
No, I'm talking about for the line item, it's a question, but that, at first they said, oh, it's a 42% overage, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is that line item? And then when we looked at it, it was like 42% over 2,000 or something. Was it 29?
I have to go through,
Remember on the quest one, it was always at the bottom.
$2,442.
So this is the line item, we're fighting over roughly 5% of $2,900. But we gotta follow the state
Like
guidelines.
150.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, this is so minute. But the state guidelines are the state guidelines, and it has to fall at 15%.
So does anybody in the audience want to comment on if we should have a special meeting on Friday or?
You can approve a not to exceed amount of the current contract, because it's gonna be lower.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Then we'll just bring it in lower once the state approves it. That's the easiest way.
Yeah, that's
That way we can have a not to exceed amount in the contract, in the language.
What was the total? 49 what?
49, let me go back up. $49,068.10.
068.
$68.10.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gotta make sure we get that 10 cents in there.
You did.
Yeah. Be legal.
And that's the amount, just so I understand, that's the amount of the grant contract.
No, that's the amount that
We
they,
have a not to exceed amount. It may be better.
That's the not to exceed amount?
No, that's the amount of what they're offering, but it's gonna be less than that. It might be better to say the not to exceed amount of the total
50.
award, yeah, the total award, that way, if something
Give
comes
me
up.
just a second on that one.
Our goal is always to be under the not to exceed amount by the state.
Yes.
Because that means it comes out of our funds.
And this is so you all could issue a notice to proceed tomorrow? Okay.
This was done back in, I think, November. And then when we got into December and everybody was short-staffed with the state, things slowed down. Well, the contractor's ready to start. And he's ready to go, but until we have a CEI in place, we can't turn him loose. Of course, we wouldn't have thought that it was gonna be 2 months to get an approval through.
Okay, so the not to exceed amount is 49,
No,
No.
Okay.
what?
She
So
said
this-
not to exceed.
The CEI amount that we awarded through the LAP agreement is $56,626.
So that would be the not to exceed.
Yeah, so no matter what, it cannot go above that amount.
$56,226,
No,
626.
626.
$626. Guess I need a hearing aid.
56.
626.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we need to word this?
Well, I mean, first we have to decide, do we want to do that or do we want to hold a special meeting?
I have no problems with, delegating the authority to the mayor. I just wanted to know what the total amount we're
Right.
allocating
That's,
versus saying some dollar amount.
well, it's not to exceed 56,626.
We delegate.
Yeah.
You can exceed that, it just means it comes out of city funds.
Right.
That's all I'm saying, we don't do that.
So, no, so we're saying not to exceed 56,626, which is the max amount of the grant, correct?
Correct.
So a suggested motion, if the commission is interested in that, would be to authorize the mayor to issue a notice to proceed on this contract and sign whatever documents may be necessary to start that process, provided the contract price isn't over $56,626.
You got that?
What he said.
You got that?
That's my motion.
I was just making sure that actually, well, I wanted to make sure that anybody in the audience wants to comment on this.
Say that or I'll come back Friday, I don't mind.
So, okay, so we've got a motion in a second. You got the motion, Ashley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is there any other discussion? Okay, then all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And that gets us to the end of our agenda. We're up to commission and staff comments. I only have one thing. I just wanted to let everybody know, on January the 9th, the third house in the Habitat Village, we have the nail, I don't know what it is, it's where you pounded the first nail. So we have a nail pounding ceremony on January the 9th. This is the house that's being sponsored by the 7 credit unions in the area. So they're running full force over there. So that's all I have. I hope everybody had good holidays and that your new year has started out well and that it continues on that track. So we'll go to Commissioner Birdsall.
From our last meeting we had a lot of discussion on communication. I've received some feedback from the citizens, and I've seen it. I think that we've done a better job. We always can improve on that. So citizens, if y'all have stuff, please let us know how we can continue to improve. Speaking of that, this Saturday, and I believe it's every other Saturday, Tim might know, they do the running club now here at Callaway Park. I'm going to be here at that, and afterwards, if you wanted to chat with the commissioner about whatever, just stop by, whatever the concerns are, and we can dive into it. That's it, ma'am.
Commissioner Briggs?
Nothing but thank you to the citizens for continuing, and actually improving their involvement. We're getting more people that have more interest and involvement, and keep it up. We've got, here again, we got opportunities here, we got opportunities, and I'll bring it up particularly as it relates to citizens on the TPO. So there's room on the citizens advisory on the TPO. So anybody interested, let us know, and the mayor and I will certainly support it.
That's right. That's the city manager from the TCC.
Yep.
Is that it?
That's it.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Easy one. City manager, what's the status of, Alexander Place or North Hugh Thomas? There's nothing's going on that side. Everything's ceased.
You got that right here?
Yeah.
You talking about the road, or you talking
Road or construction, anything going on. I noticed all the equipment's gone, so they giving up.
Of course, right outside, we have to have a road. As far as the building's going on, there's still some litigation that's going on with that before they start. Hugh Thomas is actually, it's still on track and everything. There was, some snafu with the water line from the county. It was off about 5 foot from what was marked. And so they're having to do a workaround on that, and that may be what the current delay is. I have a project that day at the end of the week. I don't know exactly where they're at, but I know they put the road base down, and they may be waiting on compaction, actually.
Okay.
I drove down it today, it's pretty rough, so it's compacting well, but
What about that soft spot in there, in the road? As you go in, the first turn to the left, just beyond that, the road looks like it's caved in.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
This is all.
That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, since it's grant funded, they also have to do compaction tests on the aggregate. And they go down and they take tests on it, but I haven't heard of an issue, nobody's told me of an issue just yet.
There may be one there.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay, so Alexander Place is under litigation, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't see why they couldn't go ahead and start on the other houses. I don't know what their plans are right now, but, Bill, have you heard anything?
They're securing the building.
Oh, okay, they're securing the builder, okay.
So with that in place, have you guys made a...
Metro not doing it? I thought Metro was doing it, are they not?
I don't know.
Okay, I haven't talked to them in a long time.
With that in place, what arrangements have you made with the contractor with fencing, keeping people out of this area? In other words, we're gonna have to have fencing done, correct?
You're talking about from the Arts and Conference Center?
Right.
Yes, they are going to be putting up a privacy fence.
Prior to selling units.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will.
I just want to make sure that,
No, I appreciate you bringing that up.
because nothing's being done there, and we need to ask the question, when are you gonna do it?
Well,
Since our citizens don't have access, I don't want folks over there to have access.
No, they don't need the, people don't need to.
No, we'll have that for them, but at the same time, there's no reason, they don't have to have houses built for a fence.
Exactly.
So I'll go
I
ahead.
should be working on that, right?
Because they did remove our fence, so. Did we remove that? We did.
Yeah.
That access point, if I recall, was part of the development order that we approved with
Personnel gate.
It's gonna be.
personnel gate, right?
No, that's a whole nother story. But yes, we will eventually have a Knox box and an access gate on the back.
Okay.
That will be able to go that way, but that's gonna strictly be for emergencies. That was the original game plan, was, there's only one way in, one way out, but we will have access to be able to get in through that back gate. It's not a permanently open thing. No, it will have a Knox box on it.
The pass-through gate?
He's talking about a pedestrian gate. There will be a pedestrian gate, and it'll be handled just the same as the gates out here. If they lock this gate, all those gates get locked.
Okay,
There will be no after-hour access.
okay.
Does it, Commissioner Pelletier, Commissioner Ayers?
Yes, ma'am. It's been a busy break for me. I completed ethics training in person, met with the city manager several times, discussed the different issues, and to understand the intricacies that go along with each. I'm working on the annual evaluations for both the city manager and the city clerk. Attended First Friday at FSU, 325th Fighter Wing, gave an update, and it was very extensive, and I'm very proud of those guys. They're doing a great job out there. Attended Habitat for Humanity with the mayor and Commissioner Briggs. Attended the comprehensive plan workshop with everyone here, and attended Callaway's two Christmas events. And that's some of the idea of what I've been doing. That's not everything, but it's most of it.
Okay. City clerk, do you have anything for us? No, ma'am. Okay. City attorney, you?
Oh, man, I'm just happy to be here.
I don't want to start off anything for Kevin to have.
Just say I've been working on that.
All right. The city manager, I guess you're up.
All right, the grant, the CDBGD, our lift station grant for 5 lift stations, we have started. They have started on the one that's on Lance Street. The detour will be very short once they put it up, but that's going to be their starting point. After that, they'll move to what's called CA29, that's the one on Tyndall Parkway. But the gate's destroyed where the guy went through, that'll be the next one. We will be coming back with vinyl fencing around all of these lift stations. And so we're in process on that. Hugh Thomas, I've already gave you an update on that, Commissioner. You've got that one. The roundabout is under construction. They have the aprons are poured in the center section. They'll start working on the roadway section next, and it's actually ahead of schedule right now. So they're trying to expedite that project through. Sandy Creek, the sewer out at Sandy Creek. Surprisingly enough, the Corps of Engineers, we have a meeting with them on the 22nd. Bill, write that down. You're going to need to be there. Do you know about it? Yeah. So we have a meeting with the Corps out there. We're trying to hurry up, get that environmental done so that push it through the Corps, then we can bid that project out and hopefully start, because we need to get that out there fixed up. And then finally, as y'all have seen, they started on Cherry Street. TECO is currently boring all sorts of lines down at Star Avenue, trying to get ahead. We did have a progress meeting today. They're having to get some of their stuff done, but they will be back out on site tomorrow to start back up hot and heavy and try to finish up right there in that center section between Comet and Jan. We knew that was going to be a little bit of an issue. That's why we started there. Once they do that, we'll get that road back opened up through that section. We'll start down on Star Avenue.
So after that's done, you're going to start.
We're going down to Star, yeah. We are having to work through some issues with the county, because Star Avenue is a county road. So they wanted to now stick their head in and make some comments, which they're very minor, no big deal, but the county's, they're okay with it. And that's about it. Just don't, unless anybody has any specific
Anybody have anything you can touch on?
Those are our big projects that are going now. Southgate and Beulah they're being engineered for paving. Of course, we do have a grant for Southgate. That paving will go from, I always make sure everybody understands that we will go from Cherry Street to Hickory as the main, and then we'll have an alternate that goes from Hickory to Lake, depending on where the bids come in. If we have enough funding, we're going to push it on out. And of course, Beulah's coming out of city funding. Hopefully prices are going to continue to drop on paving, and we shouldn't have any issues. If it does, we'll push it. Maintain that budget.
Have you made any progress on the contract on paving?
It's going out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Ashley, I did have some comments.
Yes, I do. So our bid platform that we use, Vendor Registry, BidNet Direct bought that out at the end of last year and basically closed down vendor registry. So the beginning of this month, Jay and I did our training with them. Their marketing team is handling, the day we did our training, they started handling getting out information to our current registered vendors, whoever was registered with some vendor registry. So I have everything ready for that bid to go out tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, we had a little slowdown because we didn't want to put it out, but we couldn't put it out to our local vendors until vendor registry or.
That's fine.
The net direct, yeah. Once
Yeah,
it's
we will
out.
keep that out for about 30 days. We're gonna make sure it's out there. We have went through that contract 50 million times. I think we got a really good, solid foundation of how we're gonna do it. I think I've said this in the past. We've done some internal training with our guys on doing sub-base for roads and stuff like that. That's gonna cut that contract down. We're just basically gonna need people to come in and pave. And we've already got a whole myriad of projects that we're gonna do. Commissioner, I'm gonna need to go through our budget because La Costa is gonna, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it under that contract.
Talking about GH Cruz.
I mean, J.H. Cruz, yeah, J.H. Cruz. We may have to put that out separate. We're gonna look at it and see because it's gonna be, there'll be an additional cost because that'll have to be milled.
Right.
We didn't put that in our turnkey paving because not all people can mill. And we need people that can pave. So, we're gonna look at that and see, we'll see how that bid comes in, see who gets the bid. And if it's somebody that has a milling machine, then yes, we'll be able to mill it under that contract. But if it's somebody that doesn't have a milling machine, then we will have to put that out for bid because it has to be milled and overlaid.
Right.
So we'll have more of a idea on, when's it going? January 29th? Is that when we got it?
Well, if we do it for 30 days, then it
We
would
already
be,
talked about that, you didn't put it out there? I want it for a long time.
I know you said 30 days, right? So if it goes out tomorrow, then that's gonna be about the 11th of February.
The 11th of February. We just want to make sure that we have enough time because we need people to pave. I don't need them to be able to pave a state highway.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that was in the original contract documentation, was you gotta be able to pave a state highway. I don't need that. I need a 2-inch overlay. And we have a lot of smaller paving companies that can come in and provide that service. Because we're gonna be doing most of the base work. And we'll do, like we did on Lake Drive. If everybody's been across the paving patches we did on Lake Drive, we did all the compaction and we did, all the sub-base on that. They just come right in and just overlaid right over the top. And that was where, we brought in a QC guy from another company that trained our guys on how to do all that work.
Saves us money.
It's gonna save a lot of money, yeah. And once the contract gets into place, some of our projects that we put in the budget, we will do it that way, like paving the parking lot of Patterson Park. We'll go in and do all the sub-base work, and that's gonna drive that cost down tremendously over what's budgeted. That's where J.H. Cruz comes in. If I can get these prices down low, then we'll come back to y'all and ask for a budget amendment to transfer that money over to J.H. Cruz. Okay. Does that make sense? I know, I talked about that on my own, I'm sorry. You should live in my head.
No, thank you.
It's a mess, okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we have announcements. January 19th, that's this coming Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. City offices are closed. January 20th, does it look like there will be a planning board meeting? No, but we will have a workshop January 20th at 1 p.m. discussing the comp plan. And then January 27th is our next commission meeting. This Sunday, which is the 18th, January 18th at 2 p.m. in the museum, the Historical Society meeting. I'm not sure who the speaker is going to be this month. I do know in February, Winston Chester is going to come and talk about fishing, so he's always a popular speaker, so you may want to be looking forward to that. But this Sunday in the museum at 2 o'clock. Does anybody know of anything that wasn't on here? Any announcements? Anything going on? Okay. Okay, we will go to public participation, so who in the audience would like to speak? Anybody? Yes, sir.
All about Route 7010 Mark Lane. Commissioner Birdsall's interest in exploring efforts to increasing public input from residents at the commission meeting on Tuesday, December 9th, appeared to go sideways. Perhaps because the intent was not as well structured as it could have been, or maybe not as well defined as it should have been. I think public input is dependent upon what is considered public information. City is responsible for alerting citizens of issues such as potable water disruption, road closures, emergency services disruptions, law enforcement issues, road lettings, power outages, and so forth. Additionally, City has a responsibility to advise of city events, commission meetings and agendas, social events such as Christmas in Callaway, 4th of July, and so forth, as well as opportunities to volunteer to serve on different committees, both standing as well as ad hoc. But, and here is where I think public input becomes important. When the city anticipates a long-term impact from decisions made, the city needs to invite citizens to a sit-down for a Q&A. Long-term can be anything beyond 30 days. The Cherry Street project and the roundabout at Bud and Boat Race are examples. Disruptions cause confusion and sometimes hostility that can be muted or averted if questions can be asked and answered. The city manager provides ongoing updates on different projects during commission meetings, but not every Callaway citizen attends, accesses the online meetings or the social media accounts, reads the newsletter, or talks with their neighbors. So, even if public meetings are held to discuss long-term projects, excuse me, and solicit public input, information will still not get out. People must take responsibility for their own engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
I tried to so hard to catch it, I'm
He
sorry.
told me, he said, I got this thing down, I'll be 3 seconds short.
Who else would like to speak? Yes, ma'am?
Teresa Langston, 6031 Lamb Street. I have a question about the big net. About you were saying that you didn't want to put it out there, and I was curious of why you didn't want to advertise the change, because I did see other municipalities that are advertising in December to let people know that they were changing, the vendor, how the bids would be accepted, and I'm curious, was the training offered earlier, or was it something that had to be in January?
They offered the beginning of the year.
Okay, well, I was just curious because, there was a discussion about the bid going out back at the November meeting, so I was just wondering why such a long delay with that. I'm curious, previously we had discussed about the software for the Public Works Department. Nothing was ever talked about if you guys decided on a new software to keep track of the work orders instead of doing the spreadsheet or however it was done previously. here's how the citizens can apply for the evaluation board. Is it advertised the same as the planning board, other committees? And the city's involvement with Alexander's Way, since you were subpoenaed, I'm curious of what
Who
the,
was subpoenaed?
I think you were.
No.
You were not subpoenaed?
Why would I be subpoenaed for
I
that?
don't know, because looking at the court records, it looks like that you were subpoenaed for it.
For what?
I have no idea. I'm not involved in it, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I'll tell you right now, ain't nobody said nothing about a subpoena, I have not been subpoenaed for anything, I don't know nothing about that. That's a crime.
And as far as,
Yeah.
you know, he had asked about whether they had given up because they had moved the equipment. And there was a stop work order, I think back in May of 2025, so,
That's between the developer of that property,
Well,
it has
right.
nothing to do with that road. That road is a complete separate project from that development.
all right, and then my other statement is, you know, you talk about citizens, you want citizens to be involved, and you know, I'm really strong on people getting involved and the citizens being heard and stuff. But I don't feel like the citizens, when they apply for committees, are being given a fair opportunity because of the same individuals are being placed on 3 and 4 different committees. When the newer people come in, you know, they're just kind of being talked down to because maybe they don't have a PhD or anything like that. And you know, I'm a strong opponent with you guys talking down to the citizens and being disrespectful and treating them, you know what I mean, whenever they get up here and speak. So I just want to make that point. This is why we can't get citizens to get involved because the citizens that are putting in the communities, citizens are not able to be heard.
That's fine. I think he wanted to.
Yeah, Teresa, I'll give you some answers, so you stay up there. Well, I really done cover the subpoena thing, I don't know nothing about no subpoena, I should not be involved in that, I have no direct issue with that property owner dispute. I don't know anything about it. The only thing I can tell you is what was on GIS. That's about the extent of the knowledge that staff has. We're not involved in that in any way.
Okay.
City should not have anything to do with that. This has to do with, well, I'm assuming it's a title company issue. So that's about the extent of the knowledge, but I have not been subpoenaed and no one's questioned me or had any conversations with me about that ongoing lawsuit. As far as the city software goes, we did some extensive research. What we found out is that our current software, which is Springbrook, we are currently using one of the modules. We expanded that module to include Public Works. Everything now is being tracked through work orders completely. We didn't have to go out anything. It was already part of our package. We had just not ever explored that side of it. But I got to be careful when I say that. We knew about the work order side of it, and our utility billing department was using it. And so we did some modifications inside of that software so that now we can use it, and all of Public Works does everything via work orders. And we can coordinate back and forth, because a lot of the issues that we have has to do with utility billing and, say, water and sewer. That's where a lot of that stuff goes. And so we are currently using software. We're not on spreadsheets anymore. And the system seems to be working extremely well. What was the other one? Tell me more.
The bid.
Well, the bid net, I mean, you referenced something about something going out for bid. We did not go out for bid because Vendor Registries was bought by BidNet Direct. So it wasn't a matter of putting anything out. They bought the company. We just had to do the transition over. The only bid that we had on hold for anything was this particular one, and we were not putting it out until January anyway. You don't put bids out in the month of December. You just, that's a no-no. In the construction world, they're all gone, they don't know anything. You'll get poor responses.
And I thought previously at the meeting that it was supposed to go out sooner than regular.
So we had got recommendations, but it did take a while. It's a big bid document in there.
The scope itself is 30 pages.
Yeah, it's 30 pages. We're being very thorough. And so, actually, I didn't probably have it ready until it was in December when I sent it to you and said, hey, I think this is ready to go. But we wasn't planning on putting it out until January anyway. We were pushing it, and then we found out about the registry switchover, where we definitely want to use it. So she's going to put it out tomorrow. It's going to be our first run through using the same website we've had before, it's just that I guess they're doing upgrades and remodels.
Well, they were a different company. They bought vendor registry, but they're not keeping vendor registry. They did not keep vendor registry software and websites and everything. Everything's moving over to that BidNet Direct, who we weren't involved with in the beginning. So we had to move everything to their stuff.
Yeah, and that's part of their migration, not ours. They have to migrate everything over. What else did I miss?
Well, I was just curious, because you said that you couldn't put it out there or let people know about the changeover yet. And I was just curious of why wouldn't you let the people, let it be public knowledge that, for the vendors or whoever, through the bids that you're switching over?
Well, it's part of when we do when the switchover happens, their marketing department is going to do all of that.
That's actually what they're doing that now. Their marketing department is reaching out to everyone who was registered with us through vendor registry, all the different companies, contractors, engineers, and everything. They're reaching out to kind of do that, to say, hey, City of Callaway is switching from vendor registry to here. We've made sure that we've got it on our website, the new web address and everything that directs them to BidNet Direct. But BidNet has been handling the marketing as far as letting our contractors know.
No, we're not going to sit around and wait. We're going to let them go, and then we're going to also be looking at this internally to make sure that everybody's getting the information.
Okay. I mean, I just seen it out there, other municipalities, were advertising or announcing, so they're,
Have we done that yet?
waiting.
I don't have that, but I can know that. I can write
You know what, that's a great idea. We haven't done it yet, but of course we haven't been operational enough to be able to say, go do this. And they had their internal meeting and went through all of it, but that's a great idea. We'll put it out there.
Well, I mean, I was just asking because you said that you couldn't do it, but I was just kind of going, well, why couldn't you have done it? So I didn't know if there was a reasoning behind on why you couldn't have done it, and that's what I was asking.
Well, the reason we don't put bids out in December, that's the number one reason. We just will not do that. That's just a no-no in the industry. I'm serious, there's documentation on that. People say don't put bids out. You can ask any contractor and they'll tell you don't put a bid out in December. People miss it, they just do, because it's holidays.
Yeah.
But, I mean, our goal was to, number one, once we got it ready, which, like I said, I don't remember what the date was. I got the final, we finally felt confident enough to put it out. Because it had to go back through Kevin, because I made a lot of changes.
Yeah.
We took out all the, like I said, we took out all the language on, they still have to follow the FDOT guidelines per the FDOT guidebook. All that's still in there, but we're not making them be FDOT certified to do highways.
Gotcha.
That way it will expand we'll get better bids, and we'll have more people that can do it. Because like I said, we're not talking about, I'm never going to go out and have these guys pave a whole street block. That's very unusual that we would do that. That's going to be over the threshold. We're going to put out for bid. This is for patching. This is for doing like what we did on Lake Drive, 30-foot section of road, do a little water break.
Right.
And that, or doing our parking lot or something like that we have to do, something that's supposed to do. That's kind of the goal of it. So we don't have to put every little thing out for bid, because that gets monotonous on the small project.
Because this is going to be an ongoing contract whenever they get the bid.
It'll be a one-year contract, and then I think there'll be two 1-year renewals on it. But it'll, even on the renewals, it's not at their price. It's going to have to be based on something like CPI. We don't give them carte blanche.
Okay. Well, that's nice to hear about that. So, I was just kind of curious about that. All right.
Did it? Anybody else? Nobody? I'm not missing anyone?
Mayor, I just have just a quick, city manager, can you update us on the meters and the towers, utility bill?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't do that. Wow, thanks for coming, we appreciate you. It's embarrassing for walking out. So we still have not commissioned this one. They just couldn't do it over the holidays. So they're supposed to be commissioning it here in the next couple of weeks. We're still using our system to read.
I know this, use all
Yeah, yeah, we're still using our system to read, but even once we go operational, we're gonna do comparison reads. Okay, we're gonna take reads, we're still gonna do just drive-bys. And staff is gonna be starting training now and bringing all that information in. It's hard to do training whenever you don't have any information. We actually sent in a data sheet from the Sandy Creek area, and when they came back, the problem was they were comparing it to what's on our system now. They're like, well, you didn't get the 33% reads. I was pretty excited. The tower out of Sandy Creek picked up 33% of our meters across the whole entire city, so that would be a good redundancy when this one gets operational. So we're just waiting on that thing to go,
Okay.
and I'll keep you all updated. I'm sorry I didn't bring
No,
that up.
I just dawned on me what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You good? Anybody have anything?
I'm good, that's it, yep. No more.
Well, everybody have a good holiday on Monday, and hopefully we see you at our workshop on Tuesday.
Yeah, I expect everybody to be on Tuesday.
Tuesday at 1.
Y'all think we made the decision, we can see that compliment.
That's right.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes. Okay, good.